I have a very tragic backstory that I share very openly and very publicly. I was abused starting at 3 years old. I was molested by my maternal grandfather for an entire decade. And then at 13, my mom discarded me so that she could go continue on in her own trauma and her toxic relationships of husband and make number 4 and 5, which were the same man. She left me and discarded me and gave me to my father so she could go be with this man. And when I started living with my dad, my stepmom definitely had a problem that my mother's trash was dropped at her door, and I was confined to a room like a prison where I stayed for until I was about 16, so like 3 years. And then at 16, I was a freshman in high school. My stepmom told my dad that she had enough and I needed to go. She simply did not want me there. Again, her facing her own demons and toxicity and things of that nature. And from there, I began living on my own and it didn't stop. I got into a very domestic abuse relationship very early on, and that abuse lasted too long. But I then finally put a stop in it and I left Florida, where I'm originally from, and I came to California in pursuit of a better life with a baby on my hip, covered in layers of trauma, like these jackets right here, covered in them, because that's what we are, as Michelle was talking about prior to me, and very poor, ugly, ugly poor. And I just started pursuing education. I'm first gen. I'm still the only one in my family to have a master's degree. Currently teach as a professor, which I love so much. And I've been in about 15 years of in-depth trauma therapy. I study the brain, our nervous system, all the emotional pinpoints that she was talking about earlier. They're very real. Our body keeps the score, and that's an incredible book that you might find as a resource for you. It's a heavy book, by the way, but there are things online that can help you listen to it. And there's a lot to still be discovered, honestly, with trauma, whether you have little t or big T. Everybody has some form of trauma, and it does typically stem from our childhood, as I've just expressed mine. But I am living, walking proof that you can overcome. Education and entrepreneurship have reshaped my life, but my drive to overcome and not succumb to what happened to me has really been the fuel. And of course, I give all credit to God and the grace and the covering He has extended over my life that has put me in a position of power today. So we get to have that authority. We get to have that victory. And it takes a lot of work. So my encouragement to all of you is to do the work, right? You just got offered some free opportunities to get a journal and to go get some coaching and to have an opportunity to connect. And I will leave my information, and you are welcome to reach out and connect with me. But it's important that you take that opportunity. I teach a lot on trauma and our brain, and trauma is the Greek word is traumas, and it means a wound to our brain, ultimately. And so when our brains are developing, we develop from the back of our brain to the front. And this back brain here is called the reptilian brain. And that's what gets fried. And so if I had some good, this might work right here. I have a good like plug. I'm going to show you plug just for the sake of showing you a plug, right? It's my mic not working currently, but we have this plug, right? See this plug? Plug kind of runs down the back from our brain. That's our nerve. That's our biggest nerve, and it's attached to our brain. This is a regular plug that I plugged into the wall, and it's set for, say, 60 volts, and I plug it into 1,000. What happens? It fries. That's what happens to us in trauma. It fries our brain. And when it does, what you'll see is all of our organs are attached. There's ways to heal that. There's ways to heal your brain. There's ways to help this frontal lobe, which is where the rational thinking comes from. But it takes a lot of work. We have neuroplasticities of the brain, which means our brain is plastic and it can reshape as we create new pathways, as we stop doing certain things. What are you willing to stop doing in your life so that you can start doing something new to put you in the right direction, right? And the neuroplasticity. So an old pathway would dissolve and a new pathway will come forward. When you do, the rest of your body can heal, but it is a process and it does take time. I'm a very big promoter of EMDR therapy. EMDR is an eye movement type therapy, and it is life-saving. It definitely saved my life. And I tell everyone, I encourage everyone to look into that therapy. These things are coming from our childhood, but we get to heal, and it's a journey. So one of the things as I was studying and thinking about what I wanted to give you as an overarching topic is the answer is and will always be love. Put love in the chat room for me. If you're here with me today, put love in the chat room. I need you to love the ugly parts of you. I need you to love the parts of you that have been hard to be able to digest. I need to love the prior versions of yourself. Love is and always will be the answer. The more you can actually dive into love of self, the better you will become. It is always the answer. It is actually the only thing that is real. Everything else is an illusion. This moment, there's so many things in illusion. Love is the only thing that is real. You and your essence of love right now is real. It's the only thing real. Everything else is an illusion. Love never dies, but it does transcend, as each of us will do one day. So the answer is always love. As I was sitting here and I was resonating with the energy, I clearly heard, tell them to love themselves. The ugly part, the hard part. I know standing in that mirror is hard. I'm having a mirror at women's event coming on Saturday, and I know how hard that is. But I'm going to have the women stand before these mirrors, and I'm going to let it resonate, and I'm going to go and I'm going to speak into their life. You have to embrace all of that, and you have to have compassion of self. I don't know about you, but I'm going to speak for myself. I'm hard on myself. And I can still be hard even in the work. If we're real, if we want to be real today, and I've grown a lot. I'm 15 years in, right? But I'm still going. I'm still going. I'm still a work in progress, right? Evolution and growth over a lifetime is the pursuit to mastery. I'm going to say it again. Evolution and growth over a lifetime is the pursuit to mastery. You are constantly chiseling at this vessel. Never stop chiseling, never stop digesting knowledge, because we perish from a lack of knowledge. So never stop taking it in. This moment that you've dedicated to yourself to have in this space to be fed today, may it be rich in soil of your heart. May the seeds just migrate in there and grow and spring forward at the right time. So I want you to learn to have compassion of yourself. You're going to have to love yourself in the good and the bad. And then you're going to have to really have that come to Jesus moment and that reflection in the mirror. What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing to make sure that I get to go live what I call an empowered life, right? These are things I want you to reflect on. You do not have to do this journey alone, right? You get to have support along the way. You have a whole vast of support just right here in this one moment here that is available for you. But as your seasons shift and change, support comes and goes. Don't limit yourself, right? Things are for season. When you need them, they're there. Remember, you have the ability to create this life, co-create this life. It is by what you think and what you speak, right? And what resonates on your heart, which is why it is important to guard your heart. So for you on the call, I want you to think about in your youth, especially, you're still evolving so much. Listen, I'm 50, honey, and still evolving. Let me just get cute real fast. Sorry. I had to have a moment, right? Listen, my avatar would be cute. She would have some high heels on so y'all could really see her. But for right now, you got the real thing here in front of you. Seriously, you're young. You're still evolving. I need you to focus inwardly, which is the way out. The deeper you go within, the freer you become. Go within. It is the way out. And I want you to think about how much you can set and love yourself, especially with this whole commercialized love day tomorrow coming up. And so many people will be in the dumps because maybe they don't have the Valentine. listen, honey, don't let that stop you from going out and get dressed up. Okay. Take yourself out for Valentine's Day if you need to. Be a Valentine every day. Like, why we got to have it one day? I need love every day. I'm here to give love every day. And it starts with yourself. So taking that time, setting boundaries. Ready? I'm about to drop this. Here you go. Boundaries are to protect you, not to offend anyone. Mm. Boundaries are to protect me. Put it in the chat room. Boundaries are to protect me and not to offend anyone. If anyone gets offended by the fact that you said, no, I can't take you there, or no, you can't have my money, or no, you can't talk to me like that, there's a problem. You have rights to your no, and your yes is undeniable. A lot of times, the reason why we have a struggle with no, and I heard Michelle touch on the no and knowing you had that right, is our no was stolen. Mine was stolen when I was 3. Okay, baby? Mine was stolen when I was 3. And it kept being stolen. And it kept being stolen. See, I didn't know I had the right to say, no, you can't touch me. No, you can't do that to me. No, you can't. No. So then what happened is, because I didn't know I had the right to say no, I grew up, unfortunately, in domestic violence, that I didn't know how to say, no, you can't put your hands on me like that. I went into relationships that I gave money to. No, you took you here, got you, all of that, all because I struggled with saying, no, I didn't even know I had the right to it. You mean I have right to say no? I was not taught that. I wasn't taught boundaries. I wasn't taught healthy anything. I had to go teach myself. Thank God our world is equipped out there with resources, but it's up to you. Nobody's coming to save you. I'm sorry to give you that message today. It's actually already been done, but you are going to save yourself, right? You have to get yourself up. You being here today is a piece moving you forward and helping you save yourself, because you're getting your tools and resources and getting connected to a deeper network. So this is a big part that's going to help you move yourself forward. You have to be able to pick yourself up and learn that you have the right to say no. You have the right to say no, and you have the right to be told no. That's a hard one too. When our no is stolen from us, not only can we struggle in saying no, but man, tell me, my heart just feels like a prison sentence. It feels like somebody took my heart and just threw it on the ground and just dumped on it. Why is that? Because I have no understanding of no. And it hurts deeply. You understand? You have rights to know, and your yes is undeniable. Meaning, if you're told no, that's okay. You know why? Because you have an undeniable yes. And it is far more powerful and purposeful than any no you will ever receive. That is the Palumbo principle that I want you all to walk away with, as well as the other seeds that I have laid before you. You have rights to your no, and your yes is undeniable. It is far more powerful and purposeful than any no you will ever receive. And all things work to the good. Everything you have been through, everything you will continue to go through, will work to your good. You get to have a position of power from your pain. Please understand this. You get to equip yourself, and that's the message today. Take these tools, put them into practice. Begin to love on yourself even more than you ever have. Drape yourself in it. Have a moment. Drink water. Set with water. Put your feet in water. Let water nourish you. Okay? Feed your soul. And love yourself in the good and the bad, because you are worthy to be loved. But it starts with you. And that is the message. And that is actually really all I have to share with you. I know I was short and sweet, but I'm going to drop all of my information in the chat room to you all now. There wasn't a greater message outside of you guys knowing to be loved. You can check out my podcast. I have a lot of different podcast version episodes out there. I would go check out Water. I would go check out The Power of Vision. I would check out the Space to Grieve, Space to Rest. Listen, go out there and continue to take in your resources, your tools, and then it's execution, baby. Put it into practice. Set the boundary. Let that toxic teddy bear go. Don't you know you have something greater waiting for you? There might be a little void, but guess what? The void won't be there for long. And I promise you, you are a star rising. It has been an incredible honor to be with you. I want you to know that you matter, you are enough, and you are worthy to step into the higher version that is waiting for you right now. Be encouraged, be empowered, and be well, everyone. If you have anything you want to ask me, you are welcome. The floor is open.
All right, guys, if you want to share or ask Natasha a question, feel free to come on. Just come off your mic. I know people are popping in and out all day, and we were coming to the end. So that was so amazing, Natasha. Thank you. And I don't even know if I really have a question. I just want to say thank you because you just shared so much. You just shared, and this is a beautiful day to share the post-traumatic growth and share, our hearts, our loves, our experience, and say thank you for being here and for being part of this. Agape, why don't you come up here with Natasha? And I'm sure you've always got some questions for everybody, and it'd be great to have a little conversation, and then we'll be ending soon.
Woo-wee. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you to all the speakers that showed up today and shared their superpowers and the encouragement, their experience, the post-traumatic growth that each and every one of us has actually walked through. Each and every single person is a definition of post-traumatic growth that wasn't just speakers today, but also the attendees, each and every one of us. So again, profuse gratitude all the way. And Natasha, you're a powerhouse from the age of 3. My goodness. Talk about trauma and the post-traumatic growth. Look at who you are today and what you've done. And your kids are healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all the above. And this is the epitome and a true walking testimony of breaking that generational trauma. So I just definitely wanted to put that out there. And again, I'm never speechless, like Nicole said, but I don't think I have a question either. It's more of the wow factor and just the profuse gratitude. We are so aligned in this mission of breaking the violence, breaking the trauma, providing this awareness and sometimes the statistics and the training and the tools to deploy and knowing where to find those resources to get the help that, is sought after, and really breaking this stigma, this social stigma behind this umbrella of domestic violence that too many of us have gone through it to not talk about it. And there's so many people going through it that they should know that just talking about it, the influx of help and support that will come their way. And that's really the gist of February being Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and these teenagers not knowing how to identify it or where to go to talk about it and get the help that's needed for it. Natasha, I know you're at a university, so you deal with these adult students all the time. And many of these students coming straight out of high school, this is when they're able to identify that they were in a teen dating violence relationship, is when they are actually senior year to college years. It's very hard to identify when you're in it at that stage in that. So this is definitely something that I hope we can get into the universities and the colleges to bring this awareness and get some of these students to really help spread the awareness amongst their peers.
Absolutely, I agree with you. The awareness is important to continue to keep speaking the message, right? You're not alone. And here's how you can come out. And when you're ready, it's always up to when somebody's ready. You guys just know that, right? You have to be intentional. You get to live your life. It goes very short. It's a very fast life, everyone. Dominate your dash. Don't discard it.